Have you ever felt like your days just disappear? You wake up, go to work, handle all the usual responsibilities, and suddenly it's bedtime. And you're left wondering, where did all my time go? It's frustrating, isn't it? Especially when you have goals, dreams, or even just simple things you want to do for yourself. What if I told you there's a reason for this, and it's not just being busy? In fact, there are 5 sneaky habits most of us fall into that quietly steal hours from our days without us even realizing it. These aren't big, obvious time wasters, but small, subtle patterns that add up over time. Here's the good news. Once you recognize them and make a few simple changes, you can take back control of your time. Imagine finally having space in your day to work on that passion project, spend quality time with loved ones, or simply relax without feeling guilty. So, stick with me, because in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 common habits that are wasting your life and show you exactly how to overcome them. Whether you want to boost your productivity, find more balance, or just feel like you're actually in charge of your own time, these tips will help. Ready to take back your day? Let's dive in. Let's talk about a big one, social media. We've all been there. You grab your phone to check Instagram or watch a quick TikTok video, and before you know it, 2 hours have vanished. You didn't plan for that, but it just happens. Why? Because social media apps are designed to keep you hooked. They're like little dopamine slot machines, giving you tiny rewards to keep you scrolling and watching. But here's the thing. While social media might feel like a quick escape, it's also one of the biggest time drains in your day. The good news? You can break the cycle with a few simple changes. Here's a simple trick. Move your social media apps off your home screen. Instead of having them right there, where your thumb can tap without thinking, hide them in a folder or even a different page. Make it annoying to find them. This small inconvenience can make a huge difference because it interrupts the habit loop. And here's the fun part. Replace your scrolling habit with something that actually adds value to your life. Maybe it's reading a book, listening to a podcast, or even trying out a new hobby like painting or cooking. For me, swapping out social media time with reading a few pages of a book felt so much better. After just a week, I noticed how much more relaxed and focused I felt without the endless feed of other people's lives filling my brain. The key is to remember that social media isn't bad. It's how we use it that matters. Set boundaries, create intentional habits, and take back control of your time. Trust me, you won't miss the hours of endless scrolling once you see how much more fulfilling your evenings can be without it. So, what's one small change you can make today? Whether it's hiding your apps or setting a timer to limit your use, start somewhere and watch your time multiply. We all know how important it is to stay informed, right? But here's the thing, constantly checking news apps or watching 24-hour news channels can quickly become a huge time drain. You start by wanting to catch up on the latest updates, and before you know it, you've wasted an hour, maybe more, scrolling through headlines and watching clips that leave you feeling stressed or overwhelmed. Here's the problem. The news is designed to keep you hooked. With clickbait headlines and constant breaking news alerts, it's easy to get sucked into the drama. But is that really how you want to spend your time? And if something big is happening, like an election, a major policy change, or an international crisis, I'll carve out some extra time to dive deeper into that topic. I'll choose 1 or 2 sources and really focus on understanding what's going on, rather than letting myself get distracted by sensational headlines. Here's a tip. You can apply the same strategy to news apps. Instead of having them always open or checking them throughout the day, set specific times, maybe in the morning or during lunch, when you check in for the latest updates. If something big happens during the day, you'll still catch it without the endless scrolling or watching. The goal isn't to avoid the news altogether. It's to be more mindful of how you consume it. You don't need to know every detail about every story. By making your news intake purposeful, you'll save time and reduce unnecessary stress. So, if you find yourself glued to the news cycle, try this. Dedicate just 10 minutes a day to a summary and give yourself the space to focus on other things that matter more. You might be surprised at how much time and mental energy you free up. Let's talk about TV. I'm not saying TV is bad. Far from it. It can be a great way to unwind, enjoy a good story, or catch up with friends and family. But here's the catch. If you're binge watching shows every single night, those hours quickly add up. And if you're like most people, you might look back at your week and realize, wow, I could have used that time for something more meaningful. The reality is, TV can become one of the biggest time drains if you're not careful. Before you know it, you've watched several episodes, or maybe even an entire season, and you've hardly done anything else. This isn't to say you need to cut out TV entirely, but you do need to make it more intentional. Try this. Instead of watching TV every night, schedule your TV time with others, whether it's hosting a weekly movie night or catching up on your favorite show with a friend. And on the nights when you're on your own, why not swap out those binge-watching hours for something more meaningful? Pick up that book, learn to cook a new recipe, or practice a hobby you've been putting off. Trust me, when you make TV time more intentional and social, you'll start to feel like you're in control of your time. And those hours you used to waste, you might just find you don't miss them at all. Let's talk about something that we all have to deal with: chores. Laundry, cleaning, dishes, and all those little tasks that seem to take over your day. If you love doing them, that's awesome. But if you're like me and you dread them, here's an idea. Outsource or automate as much as you can. But it's not just about hiring help. There are other ways to automate chores. For instance, I use grocery delivery services to save time on shopping. You can also try meal kit subscriptions that send all the ingredients you need right to your door. It's like having a personal assistant for the things you don't want to do. When you outsource or automate these tasks, you're not just saving time, you're actually buying back your life. Think about it. Instead of spending an hour driving to the store or cleaning your whole house, you could spend that time on something you really care about. Whether it's working on a side hustle, learning a new skill, or just enjoying some downtime, you'll feel so much more relaxed knowing those chores are taken care of. So, here's a challenge. If there's something you really don't like doing, consider outsourcing it. Even small things can free up your time and make a big difference in how you spend your day. You might be surprised at how much more you can accomplish when you're not bogged down by endless chores. Finally, let's talk about something we all do: wasting those spare minutes. You know the ones, right? You've got 10 or 15 minutes before your next meeting, and instead of using that time in a meaningful way, you end up scrolling through your phone or just staring at the clock, waiting for time to pass. Here's a thought. What if you use those minutes as opportunities? Instead of letting them slip away, you could use them to do something productive or relaxing. In just 15 minutes, you could journal your thoughts, plan out the rest of your day, or even read a chapter of a book. The key here is being intentional with your time, even in the little moments. Instead of letting them pass by without thinking, use them to move forward, even if it's just a small step. Every little bit counts, and over time, it really adds up. So, there you have it. 5 time drains to avoid and simple ways to take control of your day. If all of this feels a little overwhelming, don't stress. Just pick one of these tips to try out. Maybe you start by removing social media apps from your phone for a week, or hire a cleaner just once to see how it feels. Treat it like an experiment and see how much more time you can reclaim. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. See you in the next video.